What is up, fanboys and fangirls? Welcome to another episode of A Review to a Kill, our James Bond breakdown series that we have over here on fanboysanonymous.com. We are spinning things off with our tier lists and our Mount Rushmore breakdowns, which are in this subcategory that we are calling From Recap with Love, because I love my puns and stuff. Who am I? I'm Tony Mango, and I've got with me Callum Wiggins.
Oh, you caught me mid-sip. Hi.
Too bad. Mid-sip Callum Wiggins. It's another, that's not going to be a great nickname. Cowboy Callum Wiggins is so much better. And also, Rabbit DeFelice.
Play it again, Sam.
I was hoping that I would catch you mid-bite.
No, you won't.
I do have a sandwich here, so...
There you go.
Is that a cucumber sandwich? Have you been pressed to one?
No, unfortunately not. It's just a plain old jelly sandwich.
Are there any other sandwiches in the series? I'm just blanking on it. We've got the sole. That's just a fish, though. It's a sandwich.
That'd be a good name for a henchman at one point. Sandwich.
Yeah, it wouldn't be as I mean, you can't go like, oh, it's too weird. Well, odd job. So we're not talking about
anything that you call your women.
Yeah, true.
This catchphrase could be "Ready or not." Here I come.
I like it.
Ready or
now it's making me think of the song "Ready or Not" by the Fugees, which is great. But we are talking about theme songs on this one. Fugees did not do a Bond theme at any point. Sting didn't either, even though he should.
Sting will. Okay.
He really should. But we are talking the best and the worst of the James Bond themes. That includes not only the main themes, but also the supplemental ones. It's pretty much the songs that were made for the movies. So it doesn't count, for instance, California Girls in A View to a Kill. It doesn't count the score itself outside of when it comes to one of them, because we're not counting Dr. No either, because it's just, how do you count Dr. No? It's fucking S tier because it's a James Bond theme. Like, it's obvious that that's the case. But
Three Blind Mice.
Yeah, we're not counting Three Blind Mice. But we are counting, for instance, Underneath the Mango Tree. We are counting, If You Ask Me To from License to Kill, all the way from top to bottom. And I'm going to switch over my screen right now so you can see our list that we had for when we individually ranked these. Now, we do not have the estimated combo ranking, or I guess the technical combo ranking of what it is. This is just for the main themes, not the supplemental ones like Where's Everybody Gone, just because I wanted to keep that separate and just show everybody, like, if we only did the main ones, this is how it kind of ranks between all of us. So not to necessarily spoil how we're probably going to go here, but I can't imagine All-Time High ends up being an all-time high kind of ranking. It's probably going to be on the lower end, maybe not necessarily an F tier, because we don't need an F tier. We could end up with no F tier things. We could end up with no S tier ones. It is what it is. But this is how we ranked all these, so you can see that very easily this one's not going all that high either. And, we got some that are kind of on the higher end. We've got some that are, bouncing around between, mid-range type things. And some people are higher on, like, Mr. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang than, like, myself.
Did we rank No Time to Die? The Billie Eilish song?
We did not rank No Time to Die, but
it exists.
The reason why I figured that we wouldn't rank No Time to Die is because we don't know how it factors into the plot. And the song itself, if I were just to rank the song, be pretty damn high up. It wouldn't be at my very, very tippy top, but I'd put it around, I'd probably put it above Tomorrow Never Dies, maybe.
It's exactly what I was looking at. Where I have Tomorrow Never Dies, it might go right below Writings on the Wall.
It's not an official thing, but how would you probably rank it, Callum?
I mean, I really like No Time to Die. So I think it would be my top 10, probably.
So around Tomorrow Never Dies and Writings on the Wall. Same kind of thing.
There you go.
maybe around about that level.
Funny.
I'd say it could go. I think you could probably go ahead of actually maybe slot between them. Actually, probably just ahead of Writings on the Wall.
That's funny.
So 9th.
Now I don't have Writings on the Wall on the same thing as you guys for Tomato Dice. I have Writings on the Wall lower. But yeah, that's how this is going to kind of play out. If you've not seen the other episodes, I don't know why you haven't seen them, and you're jumping on like episode 32 or something at this point. But hey, we still like having you on here. So just a reminder, we want to know what you have to say about these, and you can do that in the best way possible by putting a comment on the YouTube video. And while you're over there, hit the like button, the share button, the follow, favorite, subscribe, hit the join button to join the members only side of YouTube, hit the applause button to give us a little bit of a tip. Check out our TeePublic and Redbubble shops if you want to help out on that side of things. There's the Patreon if you want to show your support in that way. And if you are, super into Twitter, you can tweet at us. You can post something on the page on Facebook or on fanboysanonymous.com, whatever it might be. But you guys know how plugs work on YouTube and stuff. I'm not bogging that down too much. We got theme songs to talk about. So this is our setup here. We got S through F, our 007 categories, essentially. And again, as I mentioned, we do not necessarily have to have a certain amount. We don't have to exactly balance this out to like a bell curve, but it's happened in the past where we've had some pretty even bell curve action going on. So it might be. And we'll round it out with the Mount Rushmore, the 4 that we are kind of attributing as the peak in a lot of ways. Not necessarily the 4 best, but the 4 that, if you would identify, are the James Bond themes. So, pretty obvious Goldfinger is going to be on there, but, we'll see. So, we are probably going to bounce around all over the place here. We're not going to go necessarily in order. Because I think that it's important to establish some of the boundaries of where we're going to go with some of these. And I think that the obvious thing to go with here is we all hate this song. So this is F tier.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, yeah, definitely.
That song sucks. That is one of my least favorite parts of On Her Majesty's Secret Service. And most of all, they need love.
Yeah, I don't know what the motive was for that.
There's 34 songs on this list. I have every single one of these songs in my collection, except for Underneath the Mango Tree, Do You Know How Christmas Trees Are Grown? Every other song I like. So it's already in the regard of I like all of these songs. So there's not a bad one in the mix in my mind. It's just those two. And Underneath the Mango Tree, I'd go F tier.
I want to put it in A. I kind of like it. And I like the fact that she used multiple.
Tree.
Yeah, and I like the fact that she used multiple times in the movie as well.
I like that song. I won't put it in F.
2 votes for E then, right?
Yeah.
You'd think that the guy with the last name Mango would put it on there, but nope.
I mean, you hate yourself as well, so.
Yeah, it's true.
And I don't blame anybody else for following the same regard.
Well, should we just put Goldfinger in S tier just to have the 2 poles apart, really?
We might as well. Let's go in there. I mean, it's not my favorite of the bunch, but it's
I think it's
tier.
objectively, it's the Bond kind of sound.
It sets the tone for so much. It is a great song. It's hard to kind of listen to sometimes if you're more in the mood to just have something else and you just he loves gold for 20 minutes, but it's so good. So it's it's S tier. It's obviously my personal rankings, it's a little bit lower than that, but even then it's number 7. It's the honor of being 007. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm quite interested in how this one's going to go, because I know every art form is subjective, but music in particular, it can go so many ways for different people.
Especially us, we're all over the place.
I'll say, I mean, we don't need to place it right now, but I am nowhere near as high on Live and Let Die as everybody else in the world is.
That's the one I was going to go with next. Where are you on Live and Let Die, Callum?
It's the most. There's the most jarring moment in that.
What does it matter to you?
But the rest of it is so good. It makes me I'm more disappointed with the song than I am mad at it.
Half of it is A tier, half of it is E tier. So that's where I'd go more along the lines of C or D.
I say it's B.
I can't go high. I think it's two bits of it are too good and bits of it are too bad that I can't. It has to go into one of the two middle one. Well, the middle one is C, so C's the best fit for me.
I can live with C.
So that's a good way to kind of judge that too. Set a little bit of a.
Now we got a
the
middle
polls.
scale as well.
Yeah.
You know,
it might be
Diamonds
interesting
Are
to
Forever.
do the ones that are the weirder ones to kind of
Or the
see
ones
where
that
that
aren't
go,
the main ones.
or do you think it's better to go with the ones that are just kind of obvious?
Well, we can start going through some. If people have got like major plays for certain ones, let's say like this one, I really want to be in this slot. Then I'd say mainly for like the really good, like S and A or E and F. If you got any of those, the rest of them can kind of just will eventually fall somewhere in the middle, probably. But put it this way, I would say for me, you probably put Skyfall in S.
That's the one I was thinking about. As if we go with like extremes.
Yeah.
Skyfall's an S tier for me. That's my number 1 rank.
Yeah. It's my number 4, but the other 3 I literally love and listen to almost every day.
Yeah, it's very high up for me as well, so I think it only makes sense to go up in the S tier for that one. I need to say a lot about. I say a lot, but say things about the songs that aren't the main themes. Particularly, like there's so many of them that I just think are so forgettable.
Blah. Yeah,
just so unbelievably like bland and nondescript.
They are far from going to be the strongest candidates on this list.
Yeah, I mean, particularly like the one that stood out to me particularly bad is like "If You Ask Me To."
Yep.
From License to King is so bad.
Ask me to place it somewhere on this, I'd probably go in the D tier.
D.
It's way worse than that. Yeah, E or F, I think.
Experience of Love, I don't really care for. Let's put it to you like this: I didn't care for any of like the auxiliary themes. I did like Mr. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Did. Go ahead.
No, there's one of these non-themes which is great.
Let's how about I do this? I'll separate these for right now, and we can kind of look at them in a little bit of a bubble as well, because I think that there's kind of sub rankings of these in some ways. Like I personally, of course, to me, I guess this is something to establish too. When I'm ranking this in my mind, I'm ranking it half my personal preference of just liking the song and half how I feel the overall feeling is for the movie. So a song like Only Myself to Blame, I love the song itself. And if I were to say which songs do I listen to the most, that's on S tier. But I can't call it an S tier song. But it is Elektra's theme in the movie. And that's the basis for every bit of the score for Elektra's theme. So to me, that's gotta be a B tier at the very least.
No, it's not, because I just don't care for it. It's a nothing song. It really, like, again, maybe that's letting my own personal biases towards it, but it's just like I've only listened to it for a few times because the ones that I mainly listen to are the main songs. But every time I've tried to listen to it, it's just like I forget about it the second I'm finished listening to it. It's just nothing.
I can agree with Callum's assessment.
So I'd say it can't go any higher than D.
But then again, you also have to figure out you guys are very not into the score.
True, but we can listen to them separately though, which we have. So
does that not get some kind of points for being the through line of being Elektra's theme throughout the whole movie though?
Sure, but that's
sure it gets
so
points,
that's what's keeping it in D tier rather than dropping into E or F for me. So I mean, I'd settle for C, but I won't go. I definitely wouldn't go in like the super high ranks of it. It's not a good song. It's not good enough. It's not a good enough song to go higher than C.
I can't justify it being S or A. That's why I was thinking like B. But I can settle on C.
Yeah, we can settle for C. Just because I think at least in my perspective, it needs to be a definitively great song. I know you think that side of it, but like me and Rob are not on that same train as you are.
I would say out of all these, the strongest one is Surrender.
Yeah, exactly. That one could be. I'd be happy with that one going in A.
I'd go in A tier for that one for me. Yeah.
I think it's a great song.
Yeah, that one's way up on my list.
And that one should have been the theme. It, for all intents and purposes, is. That's way more prevalent in the score. It's in the end credits. I think that's a better song than Tomorrow Never Dies, actually. David Arnold agrees.
I think it's better than Tomorrow Never Dies, but I think that's a great song as well. So I don't think the difference is massive, but it is a better song than Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yeah, I can't make a case for a lot of these other ones, even though I like a lot of them. Like, I personally do like The Experience of Love, but it's D tier, if not E.
Yeah, it feels so disparate from.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a Bond theme.
So, let me just have a look at my ranking, see where I've got it. I've got it pretty low, but not the lowest. So I'd be okay whether it's E or F. Not E or F, D or E, I'd say. But I'd probably lean more towards the E side of it.
I could see it being E.
I go D.
It is kind of cringy in some ways, you know. But I love the song itself.
Yeah.
I've experienced the love of that song.
I would say out of the ones we got here left, the one that I like the most is Mr. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yes.
See, I don't really love Mr. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. That one is hard for me to listen to.
It's so much, it's so good. It's that suave Bond vibe. I love it.
The actual melody of it is what annoys me, because it's that.
It cracked my top 10.
Yeah, I've got it ranked in my top half.
Yeah, it's up there.
So I would happily put it in B. I don't think I'd go higher than that, but I'd happily put it in B.
At least C.
I'd lean towards D, so I'd be cool with it being C. I think that could be kind of the difference maker between how positive I am on only myself to blame and how you guys are more positive on Mr. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I think that makes sense.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
I've never seen the movie Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. It's not a Bond movie, but it's on my list of why haven't I watched that yet.
I will say this, since we're talking Kiss Kiss Bang Bang at the Thunderball. Talk Tom Jones.
You want to toss Thunderball in there itself?
Yeah.
I love the Thunderball theme.
Not going lower than A.
I wouldn't go S by any means. I absolutely love the Thunderball theme. It is one of the ones that I love listening to some of the most. I wouldn't go lower than B. I don't know if I'd go A, but I would definitely go B or higher. Not C. Thunderball is infinitely better than Live and Let Die in my mind. So I guess it's kind of, it's A or B for me, leaning a little bit more towards B. What about you, Callum?
I mean, I don't like the Thunderball song.
Oh, really?
Well, it's not one of my favorites. It's in my lower half. It's just ahead of The Man with the Golden Gun for me. You know how much I don't like the Man with the Golden Gun. but yeah, it's just I feel like he's trying to capture the same thing that you get from the Shirley Bassey one. It just doesn't resonate with me, and I think it makes no sense.
It really doesn't make any sense. That's for sure.
Yeah, and it's the weirdest. Like they're trying to now going in the direction of okay, we've got to include the title in the lyrics, and it doesn't make sense where he's included it in the lyrics. Strikes like Thunderball. Just like he strikes like Thunderball.
Well, but like a ball of thunder, that is a saying. So when you just merge the words, you get Thunderball. I get it.
He knows the meaning of success.
Yeah,
the lyrics are very suggestive. Though they're just like his days of asking are over. He's done asking. You're just gonna please him.
He stopped asking in the last fucking film.
Yeah, that's true.
But I feel like the tune of it is pretty good. I mean, I'd be fine putting it in B because I know you guys like it, but I wouldn't go higher than that just because I just don't have a particular taste for it.
B for the ball part of Thunderball then. If we bounce back with these other ones, just to kind of, I guess, toss them out there or whatever.
I quite
if you
like
ask me to is pretty low, you guys were saying.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of E tier.
Yes, that's my third lowest, so I'm happy to put that one there.
It's a song that I like, but it's admittedly not even a song that's one of my favorite ones. Like, it doesn't feel like it fits the same way. I like it. I'm glad that they put it in there. I like that that's... Actually, it's weird. I like If You Ask Me To more so as just the end theme in the score part of it than I do the actual song itself. So I like If There Was a Man better than If You Asked Me To, but I can't justify putting that super high either. To me, that's Deary.
I mean, I've just got that one just ahead of If You Ask Me To. I just feel like that's the thing about just to go back to If You Ask Me To. The reason why partly I don't like it that much is because it's directly correlated to the thing that Bond says at the end of it, which I feel is a really weak ending to a movie.
There's definitely
like,
stronger ones. There's
Yeah,
weaker
just like,
ones too, though. I mean,
well, why don't you ask me?
We have like the Die Another Day ending, which is even worse. You know.
Oh yeah,
That's because you're so bad, and you know.
Well, most things are worse. There are most things that aren't as bad as Die Another Day, but we can digress into that one as well. But If There Was a Man is just ahead of it for me, so I would happily put that one in E as well.
I could put a lot of them in E for those extra songs.
Well, if we have these two left for those,
I quite like We Have All the Time in the World.
It's weird. Like, that song is a good song, but it's also, there's a twinge to it where it's like, I have to admit that, like, I don't really love Louis Armstrong.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I would like the song better if somebody else sang it, but then it wouldn't have that charm to it either. But it doesn't feel like a Bond song, but it's not supposed to be a Bond song. It's so weird. To me, that's C tier because it's just, like, I don't know how the hell to place that, you know?
I would put it in C as well. I don't think it's like one of the best ones, but I feel like I can't say it's bad, so I wouldn't put it on the negative end of things.
Well, I could live with it being in C. I think I'd probably go D or E, but I could live with it in C.
I could see maybe putting it in D.
It just feels like it's too low for it.
Like, it's a good song. It's just I guess I'm taking it in the context of the movie, but it is a good song.
Because we don't have a D yet. I could put it in C and we can maybe move it to D if we end up realizing that we don't have anything on D.
Maybe,
you know?
Maybe. I just feel like, especially put it in the context of the movie. I mean, that's where you built the relationship between Bond and Tracy. So,
also, I've legitimately learned what a terrible phrase to use. You do end up with less time once you say we have all the time in the world. It's like saying what could possibly go wrong, and then there it goes.
What could possibly go wrong?
Now I quite like where. Now I quite like Where Has Everybody Gone?
I love that song. That's cool, and they use it throughout the whole thing with as like a means for Necros. Like you start hearing that song and you go, "Oh fuck, Necros is around."
Yeah, I don't like it that much, but I'll let you guys take the lead on this.
B, I think.
B, you said?
Yeah, I'm happy putting in B. I've got it ranked higher than pretty much the only supplementary song, if we're going to call it that, I have higher than that is Surrender, so I'd put it in B.
I'm cool with that. I'm a big fan of that song. It's one of the ones that I listen to quite a bit.
You want me to give you a D tier song? Another Way to Die.
I'd go E. I'd honestly even entertain the idea of F, but I'd probably go E. Those lyrics are dumb as shit, and the whole like kind of thing in the middle of it. No,
it is a little bit like that. So I'd almost co-sign the E ranking.
All right. I thought I'd be giving you a D.
Well, because it's still I'd put that one there because the one I'd put in D tier from that sort of range is Die Another Day.
Well, all right. So Another Way to Die. We're thinking more so E.
That's what I'm putting at the moment. Yeah.
Die Another Day. Yeah, I could see that being a D. I like the song a lot. Like just as a song.
There are some really good things of it. I just feel like Madonna goes too Madonna in it.
Yeah.
And that takes it from being like, oh, it has its good and its bad points, maybe C, and then it's just like Sigmund Freud, and I just go, fuck, put it in D, please.
Yeah, I like the song more as a song than as something in the Bond franchise.
Like, if somebody did that same song and just took out all the, like, techno-y, Sigmund Freud analyzed. Like, it's a great song because it is one of my favorites, but I can sign off on it being in D just because it's a mess.
I'm curious. I'm going to bring this up since people can see my screen.
I have to lay down.
Of how many versions of Die Another Day that I have on here. So I have this many versions of Die Another Day just because I like the song. One of them including a mashup that has the song music. I like the song, you know.
Oh, music by Madonna music.
Right. It's a mix up with that and Die Another Day. So I like the song. Fundamentally, the song is fun, but I mean, yeah, that makes sense for D. I can see that being the case for sure.
Yeah, that'll work. If we're looking to try and put another one in that sort of bracket, the one that I'd see as D material. Yeah, Man with a Gun Gun. Probably.
Yep, I know where you're going with because I could.
Well, I'd put it lower than that. I mean, I'd put it in F, but it's like because I just feel like it's just. I don't know. There's something about Lulu that I'm just not a fan of.
Man with the Golden Gun is a song that I think is silly and it's weird, and I know that a lot of people don't like it, and I can understand why they don't like it. But I kind of love it because it feels like a Bond theme for sure, and the lyrics are completely nonsensical and stupid, and like I mean they're not nonsensical in the same way as some of the other ones, like the Thunderball one, but they are fucking funny. He's got a powerful weapon. He charges $1 million a shot. An assassin that's second to none, a man with the golden gun. And, it's fun in a fun way. And, like, it's objectively not a great theme. But I do love it. So, like, I'd go D more so than E on that one.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
So, let me ask, because Callum and I are going to be similar here, but Tony, I know you like the song. License to Kill. I just don't.
Yeah, it's just so not a Bond thing. Just so not a Bond thing.
See, I don't know how you guys don't think it seems like a Bond theme. It just doesn't register to me the same. Like, All Time High to me is something that doesn't feel like a Bond theme. License to Kill, I feel like it actually has more of a Bond theme feel to it than almost anything else does.
It just has such a first of all, I don't like the performance of the song. That's not. I think she goes way too over the top with it. Like the whole that sort of like filling in bullshit. I feel like it's too. It leans too much into the. I don't want to say like power ballad thing, but it's just a bit too. Maybe R&B almost.
I think if Mariah did one.
Yeah, maybe I'm being like over the top in saying that it's just not a Bond thing type thing. So maybe it can fit into that bracket because I think as we've found out throughout the series, like things can be not typical of a Bond theme, but still, work in the circumstances. But I just don't like the song or the performance of it. So I would put it in D.
I'd put it in D.
Like,
I mean, honestly, I'd put it in E, but...
For me, I've got that real high up, but if you guys are much lower, then we have to balance it out a little bit. So if it goes in D, whoop, I don't want to erase that. Don't do that. If that's where it kind of needs to go, because I don't think that you can really say that that's on par with these, right?
Like, well, I was being diplomatic when I said put it in D. So that's because I'd go lower than that. I'd go E. I'd probably go E with it.
I'd go
E too. Just because I'm not a fan of it at all. But
if that's 2 for E, I mean that ranks.
I mean, but we're gonna balance out.
We're doing a bit diplomatic with it because
your A.
Well, it's because some of the ones we have in E, I might put in F at some point. So I'd say actually put it in D for now, just because I don't think it's like I don't like it, but I can understand why people do like it. So.
I think it'll land in D.
Yeah. So we might as well keep it there.
I'd go A at the very least. I'd even potentially go S tier. I love License to Kill. But then again, it is a very, very subjective thing. Like it's easier to even rank something like The Allies than it is the theme songs. Theme songs are a lot harder.
Should we talk about the 2 instrumental ones?
Well, see, if you're factoring From Russia with Love in there as that, then that's a different story because I don't judge that one. I judge the Matt Monro theme. That's like the actual From Russia with Love. They just don't put it on that spot of the movie.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of On Her Majesty's.
I go D or E for On Her Majesty's Secret Service because nobody can ever sing the song.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you have to hit a limit when you're talking about one that's purely instrumental. So I wouldn't go any higher than D. I don't think I'd go into E and stuff like that, just because I feel like those actual songs that are in E right now are just worse than the tune of On Her Majesty's Secret Service. So
I love the tune itself. Yeah, like, you know, for the score, I love the song, and it's one of those songs that, like, anytime I hear bum 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 da, 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 I'm like, oh, cool, they did a reference to Secret Service, but for a main theme, yeah,
I'd still probably put it in D. The ones in E I just don't like as much. So
with From Russia with Love, though, that's the one with the actual, you know, From Russia with Love, I fly to you. I personally love the song. I don't think it's going to be, you know, some S or A tier, but I'd go B tier.
yeah, I'm
C.
okay. B. I think it's a bit better than that.
I like the ending of it too. You know, From Russia with Love, and he drags that note out. That kind of sets the tone for the dragging out the last note, even before Shirley Bassey. If you think about it, not even
True.
necessarily if you think about it, because technically it does come beforehand. So.
Yeah, but she perfected it. So.
Yeah, she puts her own stamp on it, and she blows that out of the water.
Yeah.
All time high, very low on this list. Good song on its own, but does not feel like a Bond theme. That feels like that should be in a completely different movie to me. I'd go E.
See, to me, I mean, Robert, I might be wrong in this thing. I think it sounds more like a Bond thing than License to Kill does. But I might be alone in that front.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan.
No, yeah, I don't say it's going to go high at all. I would put it in D as well.
So you got a D and an E.
I can live with a D.
Rob wants the D.
We've got quite a few in the lower end of things. Let's start talking.
I was just gonna say.
Well, hold on, because there's gonna be some that are just so. Let's gush all over this.
Well, do you want to gush about A View to a Kill?
It's so fucking good.
Do you want to just just S tier that guy?
Well, I'm cool with it.
Yeah,
because that's fucking great. That is my number 2, if I remember correctly. Yep, my number 2.
It's my number 4.
You got a number 3 and a number 4. So that is such a damn good song.
Mm. Yeah, it is absolutely great.
Nobody does it better.
I love that song. That's so good. It is so good.
A tier.
I'd potentially even go S, but I'd go A. I think
at some point we're gonna have to differentiate some of these ones. It's just like,
and I think nobody does it better would end up being an A. That video package for Desmond Llewellyn.
See, that's where I go with. That has a similar vibe to All Time High, and it's so significantly leagues better than All Time High. Nobody does it better, just fundamentally a better song. And those video packages, like, you do any kind of romantic Bond video package, that's the song you're going to want to use.
Yeah. To me, it's like, it obviously takes that sort of vibe that All Time High has, but it also does the thing like Thunderball, where Thunderball's pretty much describing Bond throughout the lyrics. Nobody does it better, does it as well, but I think it just does it so much more. It does it with so much more character than Thunderball does. So I think at the moment I'm going to put it in A, just because I think there are better songs and they're more impactful songs, but it is one that just really lingers in the memory. Like, you can just hold on to it and it feels right.
That's one that, even though we don't have it on S tier, we might come back to that one on Mount Rushmore. I think that's how strong that is.
Diamonds.
Diamonds is an S tier for me.
I think I prefer it to Goldfinger. I think it's a better song. So I would be happy putting it in S tier.
2 votes for S tier on that one. And Callum
I-
is high on it as well as me, but Rob is not as high. Rob is what do you got? 17 for Diamonds Are Forever.
I could live with it in S. I definitely think it's one of those classic Bond songs. Um, all right, let's talk about Sheryl Crow. Tomorrow Never Dies. It's a good song.
I do
B.
like it.
I say B.
I
I'm
think
big fan of the song, but I think that Surrender is a better song, and I think that that's on par with Thunderball and From Russia with Love for how I listen to it and stuff too.
no, I'm yeah, I think that in my mind it's better than some of the other ones, but I'd still be okay putting it in B.
Good
I was
song
gonna,
though. Like it's underrated,
yeah.
I think. I don't
Yeah.
think people give it the credit that it deserves.
Where we
think
at
that-
on the world's not enough.
Ooh, that's tough because I go A or B on that one. It's not S, but I
see,
really do like it.
I really don't like Garbage's performance of it, or Absolute Garbage or whatever. Just yeah, I just don't think that it's a particularly the actual like performance of the lyrics and stuff like that just really rubs me the wrong way. I can see it being a divisive one.
So you're saying Tony's saying A or B, Callum, you're saying what, D or E? Or
Yeah,
even
but
E or F?
but I would say like diplomatically, I'd put it in C.
Yeah. I'm good with it. C.
2 votes for C then.
I was gonna wrap up the Shirley Bassey. Well, I say trifecta. There's actually a quad because of Mr. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yeah.
But the actual trifecta of main lyrics of Moonraker and say that's straight up D material.
I can live with it.
Yeah, it's pretty much D. It's not her strongest entry. I like the song, but it's just not fundamentally super duper amazing. That's not going to ever be on anybody's top 5 list, for instance, unless it's just like a personal preference thing. But like, no definitive Bond list is going to have that in the top 5. I like it.
I'd put GoldenEye in C.
GoldenEye I really like, but I can't make an argument for it to be like top tier. I'd go B for GoldenEye.
I'm trying to look at the ones in C and B tier and see which ones, because I'm not the hugest fan of GoldenEye either, but I'm looking at the ones in both sides and feel like which one does it fit more. I actually think in my mind it fits better in B with the other songs that we've already got listed there compared to C ones.
I can live with that.
It's on par with Tomorrow Never Dies for me. I think I might actually have that right next to each other. Do I? Actually, I got it higher than I thought that I did. Huh.
Yeah, you got it really high.
I mean, I love the song, but then again, I love, like every single one of most of these for the most part. You go pretty much from here down to here, and it's like, oh my god, these are just like super amazing songs. And then you get into like, some other ones that I'm a big fan of and all that too.
See,
So, like,
the remainder of these songs are top half in my mind.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of.
I don't
picking
go
and
anywhere
choosing the
close
ones.
to top one writings on the wall. To me,
It's
that's
at least a B tier.
that's C or D for me.
No,
A B. It has to be B. I think I really love that song.
That's what 2 votes for B.
B,
Yeah.
B at least.
Yeah, so I'd be fine with that. I mean, I think it's A, but like I think it probably.
I would put You Know My Name in S tier. I know it's not going there.
It's going A.
I'd like it in A. Thank you.
It's going in A.
Okay, thank you.
And joining it in A, I think should be You Only Live Twice.
Sinatra's great.
You Only Live Twice. I'd try to make the argument for S, but I could see it being A.
I think almost put it there for now. I just don't feel like it has the same gravitas as some of the other ones. It's really, really, really good.
All right, For Your Eyes Only.
Well, before we move on from that, You Only Live Twice for me, one of the reasons why I say that it's S is that's got a feel to it that deviates from what they had done before a little bit. And it's got this haunting kind of vibe to it. And the lyrics are fantastic of that song. That's some of the best lyrics that they have in any of the themes.
Yeah, it's definitely. I'm not saying it necessarily will stay in A. I just kind of feel that's kind of the feel that I'm getting for it right now.
That's what I'm going to try to make a case for potentially for Mount Rushmore.
There's some. I mean, yeah.
If we're leaning more towards A, we put it in A for now, at the very least.
Yeah,
but
for now. For Yours Only, I'd also put in A. I'm a big fan of For Your Eyes Only.
I'd say B.
I'd lean more towards B.
Okay.
For Your Eyes Only is a great theme. Sheena Easton's got, a beautiful voice and everything. Oddly enough, I like the other version of For Your Eyes Only better, the one from Blondie. That might be like a bonus feature thing that we might go through and just kind of go through some other things like that in the future, because then we don't have to worry about like copyright as much. But For Your Eyes Only is a great theme for being like memorable and everything too. So I put it above the C tier. Yeah, I put it there. We're not going to rank No Time to Die right now. That'll stay under the master list for eventually when we go back and do like a recap thing. Because eventually down the line, when we do No Time to Die, we're going to go, okay, where do we put the rankings and stuff? But funny enough, we're ending up with Living Daylights.
Yeah,
absolutely love this song.
You absolutely saved the best for last. This fucking song is so good. I listen to it daily. It hasn't left my head since I heard it earlier this year. It's absolutely the best. It's S tier. I'm not taking anything less. It's an S tier song. It's so fucking good.
It's the best song of the whole series.
Thank you.
I'm concerned, so it has to be
Callum Wiggins, ladies and gentlemen.
I kind of lean more towards A, but you're not going to hear an argument for me to give something to Living Daylights on an S, because Living Daylights is absolutely one of my favorite things all around. One of my favorite Bond girls, one of my favorite themes, one of my favorite movies. I'm cool with that.
It's like, I don't know if Living Daylights will be on the Mount Rushmore. I hope it is. However,
I would say that it shouldn't be.
It has to be an S tier song.
But it's just so good. That's the thing. Yeah, it's like
so good.
It is way too good. Yeah, I mean, I was like looking at the S tier, because obviously it's got more in S tier than A tier, and I was kind of thinking like, which one? I can't find an argument to dropping any of those 5 songs. No. They're too good. They're all too good. They're all too good, and they're all too memorable. I almost feel like when we do move, nobody does it better into there, but it just, I don't know.
It's weird because it's like I kind of instinctively want to move these two into S tier, but then that's like, oh well, then we got way too many in S tier compared to A, and if you had to make the judgment call, like somebody like a Nobody Does It Better can go down into A, that kind of deal. Like,
I personally think it's right that Do You Know How Christmas Trees Going is the only one in F tier, because it is by far and away the worst song in the entire series.
Definitively the worst.
Yeah, and it's
awful.
Like, for all the rest of them, some people probably could make arguments like saying, oh, this one should be higher. I like this one more than the other one and stuff like that. And so you could maybe move those ones around, but nobody is going to make an argument to say, I don't know. It's more like an E thing. Like, it's not great, but like maybe you could put it in E instead. Like, everyone looks at that one and just goes, "Yep, it's fucking garbage."
It's ear grating.
Yeah,
it's not good at all.
Yeah. Just
Do you know where Christmas trees are grown?
Yeah, so that one, it just has to be down there. The rest of them, like, it's all based on subjective opinion. I just don't feel like you can objectively like, Do You Know How Christmas Trees are grown?
Yeah.
If one of you are in the comments and just like that, and you actually like that song, then you'll be the first.
Other than the people that made the song, yeah.
I don't even think they liked it. They just thought, "Fuck it, put that in the song. You actually put that in the movie. We just did that as a joke."
It's not even like it could be a good Christmas song. It's just bad. Like, it's just not good. Oh man. So, I mean, actually, let's do this. This will be kind of funny. Let's do the Mount Rushmore of the worst before we do the best. That's definitely on there. I would say Underneath the Mango Tree should be on there. What do you guys think?
I like that song better.
I don't like it enough to call it one of the worst.
I would say we have to. If you asked me to. Yeah, I'd put If You Asked Me To on that. One of the worst.
I'd kind of make a case that Another Way to Die should be on there.
I think it has to be on there because it's at least by our ranking of it, it's the worst of the main themes. So.
Right. Then potentially If You Asked Me To, and then maybe Underneath the Mango Tree, because we have If There Was a Man's better than If You Asked Me To. Experience of Love, I think, it's like unoffensive.
I'd put If There Was a Man, because I like Underneath the Mango Tree.
I mean, yeah, I like Underneath the Mango Tree, but like, I'm not gonna put on a strong enough defense of, like, again, I feel like The Experience of Love, If You Asked Me To, and If There Was a Man are all basically the same miasma of blah. So I kind of feel like one's fine enough to represent it, and if
Right.
you ask me, two is the worst one out of it. So I'm fine putting Underneath the Mango Tree, even though I personally like it. I understand that Tony's vitriol for it can power it into the bad Mount Rushmore.
So
This
there's
is
your
one of
bad
those-
Mount Rushmore.
One of those weird things is where it's like, if I played that song and I said, what series is this from? I don't think anybody would ever imagine it's James Bond, you know? And Connery sings it, which is weird. Now, on the good side of things, I mean,
All right.
let's just go ahead and say
Goldfinger has to be.
Goldfinger and Skyfall are going to be on
Yeah.
there.
They have to be.
And then I kind of feel like less Living Daylights. I kind of feel like A View to a Kill covers something like You Know My Name. Like, it's got that rock theme to it in a way that, like, that's cool on its own way, you know?
Although
Yeah.
I would argue, You Know My Name has like more of the Bond theme in it. The ba-da, ba-da, ba-da. You know, I'd argue that it takes a little bit more from the original theme. So are we all going no on the Living Daylights?
I mean, again, it's a song that I love, but I personally think, just because of the ones we've got so far, because Goldfinger's in it, we can't put Diamonds Are Forever in it as well.
Correct.
I would make a case for not having diamonds, but putting either You Only Live Twice or Nobody Does It Better in that.
Well, yeah, I can see why you're saying that. I'm just trying to put it in my mind. It's like, now we've got Goldfinger, you can't put Diamonds Are Forever in because they're two similar songs. They have the same style. I mean, the same singer, obviously, as well. But it's just like, and I think also Goldfinger rules out Thunderball as well.
Yeah,
it's too similar style. Skyfall, I think it.
I'd go like Goldfinger, Skyfall, View to a Kill, and either one of these two, because then to me, you've got the bombastic thing with Goldfinger, you got the rock with A View to a Kill, you've got the love theme with either Nobody Does It Better or Skyfall, in a way. Skyfall's kind of in between Nobody Does It Better and You Only Live Twice. That's where I'm like, I don't know which one of those two.
See, I think Skyfall's a bit more. I think it's the more, I guess, modern version of Goldfinger or the Shirley Bassey style of things. Yeah. I feel like it's more of the like, for me, Skyfall fits into the same category as songs like Writings on the Wall or stuff along that sort of line of things. Whereas A View to a Kill, to me, like, if you're going to pick one from either A View to a Kill, The Living Daylights, You Know My Name, Live and Let Die, they all kind of fit into the same sort of genre of like the more rocking type one. And out of those, I think, well, even though my personal preference, The Living Daylights is the best one, A View to a Kill kind of gets that genre out better, I feel. So I go A View to.
It did it first too.
Yeah, true.
So well, not over Live and Let Die, but it did it before Daylights.
Yeah, we're not putting Live and Let Die on it, so yeah, I'd say A View to a Kill is on it, and that means that I'd rule out The Living Daylights for it. And I'd say you need one which is the love thing, which I feel kind of encapsulates more of the more trait. I know, like, You Only Live Twice, it fits into that thing, and it's a Connery one instead, but it seems like it's more of a more trope to have a love thing.
Like, so if we were going to go with that, I'd go Nobody Does It Better.
I would go Nobody Does It Better.
I would absolutely.
Twice, yeah.
And that covers a little bit of some of the ground of You Only Live Twice, Diamonds Are Forever, that kind of more like soft vibe.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to like group them all together, because I kind of feel like, even though I almost put Skyfall in the same sort of category as Goldfinger, but I feel like it is a bit more modern and upbeat. It feels like it's a good, I guess, collaboration of that to the more romantic themes. Whereas you fit some other ones like, so yeah, I'd say they kind of all do a nice mix of genres.
And then I'd say if we were going B tier, it's these three and then something else. Maybe Surrender?
No,
I guess. Or maybe we'd go into something more along the lines of like Free Rise Only? I don't know.
I just don't think that I'd put a non-main theme into the Mount Rushmore, even if they are good songs.
True.
I just don't feel. Honestly, out of the next ones I'd do for Mount Rushmore, I'd put No Time to Die.
I'd listen to it because it's a very good
It's a good
song.
song. That's why I'd listen to it.
Yes, Tony. Thank you, Tony.
I think that because if we've got kind of like a similarity, so if we're looking at the second Mount Rushmore, Diamonds is the equivalent of Goldfinger for the second one. Living Daylights is the equivalent for A View to a Kill. You Won't Live Twice is the equivalent to Nobody Does It Better. So we're looking for the equivalent to Skyfall. And to me, the two songs that are the best equivalent to Skyfall are Writings on the Wall and No Time to Die.
I can see that. I'll put that little asterisk on there because we just don't know for sure how the movie plays out. But it's a damn good song, you know?
Yeah.
I love the one that you sent me that I wish was more prominent and actually out on the
yeah, it's a catchy ass song too.
Streaming services and stuff. Callum, I don't know if you've heard it though. So
not gonna play it, but it's
yeah, we can.
I'll bring this back up on here just for anybody that's interested in seeing it. It is
Mark Ronson.
Why do I not have this on? Mark Ronson and Ilse, I guess, Juber. But that's it's a demo track that they had on there. Why is this out of order? That's so weird.
I'm gonna send it to you. You can listen on your own time. It's so good. Like it's very upbeat. It's a great. It would have been a great Bond theme. I like it as a kind of offshoot, sort of like how the Juvenile was for GoldenEye. It's a very good song.
Which Juvenile? Boom, right there. Do we have enough that we could do a C tier? I don't know.
I don't think we need to.
Yeah, I don't think we need a definitive C tier on that one because then we're just getting into
franchise,
like, you know,
has great music. I will say that.
Distinct that as being that those are the bad ones, just so anybody clicks on this and goes, "What the hell? You guys got that as your third tier?" No, we don't. Not at all. But that's a damn good Mount Rushmore too. Like, the music's so good.
I'll also say the intro to A View to a Kill is so like, yeah, it's 85. This is such a period piece. Like, you know exactly where you are and what you're doing. Great song. Skyfall, the intro there, just like the actual opening credits and all that. So good. Goldfinger, iconic, and Nobody Does It Better. Really won me over with that Desmond Llewellyn video package.
I'm going to put No Time to Die in that kind of range right now because we're at least kind of bumping around there.
Yeah,
of course,
I think
it might end up going S tier in the end, but you know, yeah, theme songs, great, great theme songs.
Good
and we don't have like a full bell curve, but we've got a little bit of it going on. The only reason why is because it's like, well, you know, I mean, that's such a definitively bad theme that throws a lot of things off.
Well, I just feel like it's okay that this one is the bell curve because it's hard to actually put some of the ones in C tier because just the way that people respond to music, it's hard to just be ambivalent towards it in the same way that we are to some other artistic genres.
Yeah.
You always have some sort of emotional response to it. So we put the ones in C tier are kind of like the ones that mix a bit of good and a bit of bad, or the ones that Tony really likes and me and Rob don't, or me and Rob really like and Tony doesn't, that sort of thing. So that's why they're kind of more in there.
Yeah. Like I bumped License to Kill up a lot higher. But then I'm lower on All Time High, you know, like whatever it might be.
Yeah, whereas I'd push Thunderball lower, and I'd push
Writings on the Wall higher.
GoldenEye lower. Yeah, Writings on the Wall probably a bit higher, maybe just into A. But yeah, it's so music is so unbelievably subjective. Just the fact that we've reached any sort of consensus over these is probably the best we can hope for.
And we still want to know what you guys have to say, so drop a comment below. Tell us where you would rank these, and if you think that we're justified or super crazy about something or whatever, you know, express those opinions. Drop them in the comments as well. And we still have a couple more of these things left to do. The way that we're recording these in order, and most likely the way that I'll release these, we would still have 2 more left of the Gadgets and the Bond Girls, which the Gadgets will be a little bit different. That'll probably be the next one that we do. But go back and check out the other ones if you haven't checked them out already, and stay tuned for the other ones that are coming up after this. from Recap with Love it's funny enough that like that could have been its own series, but A Review to a Kill comes first, and we've had 30 episodes of this plus, and there's still so much more content that we can do. And if you want to make sure that we do something, whether it's the Austin Powers stuff or the Johnny English stuff, or if you really, really want us to watch Never Say Never Again or the 1960 version of Casino Royale or anything along any of those lines, then take advantage of the Pick Your Poison tier, request it, and we'll do it, because that's the point. And in the meantime, just follow and like and share and subscribe and check out everything that's happening here on fanboysanonymous.com. If you're into pro wrestling, which doesn't factor into this at all, but if you are, go to Smart Out Moment, because that is the sister website to Fanboys Anonymous. So if you show support for the one, you show support for the other one by proxy. And if you want to follow what I'm doing individually, just follow me at Tony Mango on Twitter.
Yeah, and if you like professional wrestling and you want to follow what I, Robert D. Felice, is doing, you can check me out on Twitter at DudeFelice, check out Fightful.com, and just keep clicking around and keep supporting.
Yep, and if you're not tired of all the professional wrestling stuff on that front as well, then definitely head over to smartcatmoment.com, as Tony says. Check out all the weekly articles, including the power rankings, and because that's what I contribute, but check out all the other stuff as well. Follow the Smack Talk podcast, whether it's on YouTube or through the podcast feeds. And yeah, follow me on Twitter at WigMeister14.
Alrighty, everybody, that is it for this edition for this, but we do have the gadgets coming up next, most likely, and that'll happen next week from when you're hearing this. We're recording this on the 17th of July, and I have no idea when you're going to be hearing this. This is probably coming out sometime mid to late August or so. I'm losing track of what the scheduling dates are, but hopefully you are enjoying your July or August or whatever is happening in the meantime, and hopefully you'll join us for the next one. So stay tuned for that. But for now, it's time for us to geek out.